going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today, and today we have the first ever New Forest International Airport update for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video, as today we kick off the model airport for European aviation here on my channel. What a milestone it is today, everybody, as today for the first time ever we're going to be doing a model airport that is in a different continent than North America. This is quite an exciting time and honestly just an incredible moment right now, you know, especially being in Europe obviously and seeing so many model aircraft YouTubers from there and being inspired by them and just, you know, the whole line of what it came to be. So this is just absolutely incredible. I know it's not obviously the largest display in the world, but we still get to represent it and it's going to be absolutely awesome. And I know that a large handful of my viewers are from Europe, especially the United Kingdom. So this is going to play perfectly into what this airport's going to be. So New Forest International Airport is going to be an airport based in the United Kingdom. This airport rather is going to be based west of Southampton. So this is going to be a new reliever airport in the United Kingdom. There's a really cool forest over there, and I thought this would be a pretty great sister airport, the Great Plains. So kind of keeping that theme there with the nature beauty. So we have obviously the Great Plains, and now we have the New Forest. So this is a super awesome airport, and as you can see here, I'm using the layover layout display here, which I thought would be quite awesome because we obviously have a runway over here, and then we obviously have 3 piers off here to provide 20 total gates, which will be awesome. There are 4 total heavy gates, 2 are normal, and we have 2 hybrids along with 20 capable narrow body gates. So this will be absolutely wonderful for what we're trying to do here at New Forest International. So we already have a little bit of a kickstart. We're kind of jumping into it when the airport's a little bit down the road a little bit, but there's definitely going to be plenty of time for expansions and other projects as well. Currently, we are starting here with a fairly large British Airways presence to carry One World, but we're also going to have carriers from the other alliances like Star Alliance and SkyTeam, as you can see here too. And we also have several independent carriers as well. So this is going to provide quite a nice variety here for the airport, and I think it'll be quite awesome. So again, expansion is certainly possible in the future, but as we go through today's airport update, I'll kind of explain and show you what you can see. So we have Terminal 1, 2, and 3. So it's going to be absolutely awesome, and I hope each and every one of you are excited for this. I'll kind of once again explain as we go all the routes and what to expect and where we currently are here at New Forest International Airport. But nevertheless, we're not going to waste any further time, everybody. We have a bunch of exciting aircraft to jump into, and I can't thank each and every European aviation YouTuber enough, and just any aviation geek in general, for continuing to carry your legacy on the platform. And it's really cool as a US aviation YouTuber to finally have the opportunity to make an airport like this. I know again that we have a very large European presence here, so I really hope all of you are excited for this. This will be a monthly airport series, and it is quite an exciting time here on my channel, and really excited to kick off this new era. So without any further delay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. I probably should show you first that we have gate number 1 and then gate number 2. We also have 2X, which is the heavy hybrid gate. So currently pushing back from gate 2, we have the British Airways Airbus A321neo. This is definitely a little bit different to say, but this has been a project of mine and obviously kick-started by the trip that I did this summer to make this a reality. Here we are here with this British Airways Airbus A321neo. British Airways operates to 3 destinations currently on their narrow body sector. So you're going to be service from them with services over to, sorry about that. You're going to see services on them with services over to London Heathrow, Edinburgh, and Aberdeen. So that will be a nice variety to get them started, and I think these will be very popular routes to kick it off for British Airways, as they're currently the largest carrier here, carrying 25% of the market share. So this British Airways Airbus A321neo is operating 1 of 3 daily flights out to London Heathrow. So very cool. Got the marshallers walking them out there, and that will be quite awesome right there, to say the least. So looking very good for the aircraft, and definitely a really awesome way to start off the New Forest International Airport, and just a whole new era on my channel. How cool is this? A very special aircraft to me that I chose to get after seeing it like 11 times during my trip was this British Airways Airbus A320 in the One World livery by Phoenix. This is a very cool aircraft. They did a really good job not only on the model but obviously on the One World titles. It does look quite nice, and again, capturing this several times, it was too good an opportunity not to get it when I saw it at Aviation Megastore in Amsterdam. What a special moment that was, and many of these aircraft in this airport update are coming from there. So how awesome is that? But nevertheless, this Airbus A320 in the One World livery is currently going to be making a flight today, heading on over to Aberdeen today, which I think will be a very good service for them. It'll be interesting to see if TUI decides to operate that route in the future, but they currently have 1 service, and we'll take a look at that. But nevertheless, this is just a once daily service right now. I'm sure by next summer that will be expanded, but certainly awesome to see the progression so far here with that service over to Aberdeen. And next up here, gate number 4, we have this British Airways Airbus A319. This actually came from JJ Skippy last summer, so very cool to finally get to utilize it in a proper way. This aircraft's currently loading up on one of 2 daily services today, heading out to Edinburgh. So this will be quite an awesome route for them. I think it will be a very popular one. So serving 2 upper cities there in the United Kingdom while they have that service to London, obviously. So yeah, definitely a really quality offering for them. And once again, I think this will prove quite powerful in the grand scheme of it. So this British 319 rather, out of gate 4 is making the service today out to Edinburgh. And then here at gate number 5, we have the absolutely stunning British Airways Boeing 787-10. So we do have one international service to kick off this airport, which is really cool, or rather I should say transatlantic flight rather. This aircraft is currently getting loaded up here at gate number 5, and this aircraft is going to be heading out to New York John F. Kennedy. This is a supplemental grant here at New Forest International, so that's why this happened relatively early on in the airport's history. So the airport's actually about 10 years old only, which is kind of surprising. So this airport actually opened in 2014, and they started with the British Airways services, which have expanded drastically. And what's really expanded recently has been the Star Alliance and SkyTeam presence. We'll take a look at that over there here in a little bit. But the independent airlines have been here for a little while. But British Airways was the first carrier here. And in 2022, after the pandemic, they were able to score a grant with service up to New York John F. Kennedy. This service is operated 3 times a week on the Boeing 787-10 currently, and this is currently a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday service. So it'll be interesting to see what the progression will look like on this particular route, but it'll be exciting to follow. I'm sure we'll be seeing many additional changes in the coming time. Also, by the way, the timeline in the airport will also be accelerated in the model airport form. We'll have a healthy amount of progression. It's not going to be as fast as Great Plains, for example, but you will be seeing some substantial changes over the months. And obviously, I won't be able to get new aircraft for this airport every single month, but what I will do is make it as interesting as possible. So the timeline will jump up a little bit. You'll kind of get the pace, but I think this will make for the most enjoyable viewer experience. So anyway, this British Airways Boeing 787-10 once again is making a service today, heading out to none other than New York John F. Kennedy. So very cool to see that. It actually does a turnaround from New York John F. Kennedy, which is really cool. So it flies the overnight and heads right back, which is pretty smart because then it can do the overnight back over to London Heathrow. So very good job by the planners there. But yeah, that is a supplemental grant. So great job here by Southampton and New Force International for making this happen. Also, if you're wondering, yes, the airport in Southampton still exists. This is just a completely supplemental airport due to increased demand in our fictional world, of course. Okay, so this is Terminal 2, and this houses the Star Alliance and SkyTeam carriers. So over here on the, we'll call it the north side just for the example, you have the Star Alliance carriers, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into those. And man, these are some awesome models here. So let's just go ahead and get started. I still can't believe for $10 I was able to score the SAS CRJ-900 by GeminiJets and only had to fix 1 horizontal stabilizer. That was so easy. But anyway, as you can see, we have the passengers boarding up right here at gate number 6. And this aircraft's currently going to be making a non-stop service today, heading out to Copenhagen, which is obviously one of the SAS hubs. So really cool to see this. We'll see if they add a service over to Stockholm in the future, but it's currently just that service. But it is twice daily, so that's certainly nice on the CRJ-900. So the most challenging part about this airport is going to be getting aircraft variety for the same airline, since I obviously don't even have all the airlines yet. So I hope to start doing that over time, but luckily the British Airways aircraft, I do have a couple KLMs already, so there will be some variety, which will be nice. But obviously for the first couple of years of this airport, you can expect all the European narrow bodies I have to be featured. But I'm going to do my best once again to keep it interesting. So that'll be exciting right there. At gate number 7, we have this Lufthansa Airbus A321neo, another great model by Phoenix here that I got at Aviation Make Store in Amsterdam. This aircraft actually is not going to be going to Amsterdam. However, as we know, Lufthansa flies to Germany and will have their one hub route over to Frankfurt today. There's been a bunch of speculation about a new service to Munich starting in the near future, so we'll see if that happens. With this aircraft currently operating one of 2 daily services on it as well. This airport's mainly 2 daily services currently, which is very strong, so you have a morning and afternoon option to get to your destination, but there'll be some exceptions here in a moment. But anyways, this aircraft's coming in on the earlier flight of the day, which gets the majority of the passengers, and then a regional jet comes in later in the day. So very awesome to see that right there. But anyway, this aircraft's coming in from Frankfurt and is now going to be getting ready for, I think, about an hour and a half flight back out there. So that's very nice. Here was a huge score from last year that, and obviously in our storyline here, kind of integrating some of those elements into this update. But anyway, this is currently what we're seeing right here. Gate number, this is 9. Obviously, there will be some empty gates to start on this layout, but as we continue to get more and more demand, I will expand, and I have the plan already in mind, just will be a while till I have enough models to do it. But anyway, currently gate number 9, we have this beautiful Egypt Air Airbus A321 Neo. Now this was a huge score from last year in the model airport landscape, as this airport, New Forest International, was able to score a brand new service to a new continent. So this is the 3rd continent now served out of New Forest International, as Egypt Air flies to Cairo, of course, which is in Africa. So really cool to see this with the service over to Egypt, which is right there on the northern part. So yeah, right across the Mediterranean Sea. This is barely capable of making that flight, 321 Neo that is. So really awesome to see here. This is a once daily service, so very impressive. And then in the winter, it's typically about 3 times a week. So they're finishing out the summer season strong. It's been an awesome summer here for Egypt Air, and it's been awesome to see their flights. But this is a pivotal connection to any Africa flights. So this is a really great one. They do really well on it. So again, this aircraft's currently loading up, and it's going to be making the non-stop service today, heading out to Cairo, Egypt. So really cool route, and I think this one will go very well in the future. So let me go ahead and move the board for some better light, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the SkyTeam carriers. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the SkyTeam carriers. So familiar faces here, obviously, with the Air France KLM group. So that's what we're going to be seeing here, as we have some awesome narrow bodies to assess from them. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and take a look at these aircrafts. If I can get out of macro mode, which no matter where we are is still a common theme here on my camera. Alright, so here at gate number 12, I believe this is, we have a beautiful Air France Airbus A220-300. This aircraft's currently loading up with a once daily service out to Paris Charles de Gaulle today. This is a relatively new service, only on year number 2, but it's already up to the A220. So this is really great to see. Again, it's a once daily flight, comes in the middle of the day, so obviously not quite as much connectivity as Lufthansa, but you'll see here in a moment why, as KLM has a really big presence here at this airport. So this still makes sense here in Air France. I'm excited to see what the progression will look like, but nevertheless, this is really awesome, and overall a really awesome moment right here at the one and only New Forest International Airport. KLM is one of the biggest airlines here that is not British Airways. They have a very large presence. They started service very early on ERJ aircraft, and as you can see here, have quite a variety. So KLM actually flies 6 daily services currently to Amsterdam Schiphol, which is really great. It obviously sees seasonal variation. We've seen as many as 8 flights a day in the summer and as low as 3 flights in the winter. So it's definitely quite an impressive operation here, to say the least. But it's awesome to see KLM and what they put in the New Forest International. And obviously this is a very short hop as well. It's only about 45 minutes tops. So typically we see a bunch of what's in the back, but we do have today a KLM 737-700 hanging out here today, which is really cool. This was an awesome model to get, considering that there's not many 737s in Europe. It's mainly KLM, Ryanair, and a couple others. Norwegian obviously has the Maxes, but nevertheless, this KLM 737-700 is coming in from Amsterdam. This aircraft is arriving in on a mid-afternoon service, coming in at 3 o'clock, and now is getting ready to head back out there. So looking very nice, and ultimately that's really cool to see right there. And then over there on the air stair gate, we have a gate number 15. This is the KLM City Hopper Embraer ERJ 195E2. This was so much fun to fly, so this was an awesome model to be able to acquire. This aircraft is currently loading up today and is making its flight out to Amsterdam Schiphol. This aircraft, however, is delayed from a morning flight. This aircraft was scheduled to come in at 10:15, and it's delayed up here to the 3 o'clock hours. So I'm sure several of them already rebooked on that 737 or earlier flights, but we do have this flight still taking out many passengers, a couple standbys from later flights getting on here too. So that's very nice. So again, this is currently a 6 daily flight. We'll keep tabs on it going into the future. But yeah, this KLM section is definitely looking quite nice, and they'll have a large presence here going forward, to say the least. Let's go ahead and take a look at these independent carriers, man. That's a really great lineup here of some various carriers. So you're going to be seeing quite a great variety over here. I already have quite a few models that I can rotate over here quite a bit, which is really cool. So let's not waste any further time though. We got some models to take a look at. So let's go ahead and get started here at gate number 16. Which is going to include the Norwegian Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8. That engine repair ended up being quite the effort, but I was able to get them back on there pretty good, so I'm still very happy about that. But anyway, this Norwegian 737 MAX 8 is currently pushed back for a non-stop service today out to Oslo, which is a very good service for them with all the connections. So yeah, Norwegian actually started service here about 2 years ago, and they're up to double daily services on the 737 MAX 8s, which is wonderful. So you can catch these twice a day. This aircraft's pushed back on its afternoon flight, and we're departing here at 3 o'clock to make it in for the evening banks. So looking quite nice for Norwegian. It'll be interesting to see if they have any changes coming up. I'm sure we'll see some new destinations in the future. Also, I'm keeping it kind of basic here for update number 1. I know I've said this airport's been around for 10 years, but I'm trying to make it seem as realistic as possible. But again, we'll be seeing quite an accelerated timeline with a bunch of new services and different aircraft, and hopefully as well as an expansion. It really just all depends on how the collection progresses. Well, I'll talk about my intentions and my what's what am I looking for here? My desires here in just a moment. Sorry, I had to set up a catering truck over here on another aircraft. But our next aircraft's going to be this Aer Lingus Airbus A321neo. Aer Lingus operates twice daily service today out to Dublin, and they also have a daily service out to Shannon, Ireland. So definitely a really nice double duo here. This is quite a short aircraft, obviously, quite a large aircraft for this short of a flight as well. But this is the only one I have, so making do with what we have and trying to simulate it to the best of our ability. So again, this particular frame is going to be heading out to Dublin. This is operating the morning service today, departing out at 8 a.m. So looking quite nice right there. I probably should do time frames going forward, but trying to keep all the variety in there as well. EasyJet started service here quite a long time ago, and they only have one destination to show for it. So they've been pretty consistent here with their service out to Manchester. And this Airbus A320neo is going to be, I'm sorry, London Gatwick. My bad, London Gatwick. I have the wrong city. So this aircraft's, or actually, sorry, they have two services. I forgot, I had two. My bad on that. I knew, I was like, EasyJet only having one. They've been here since 2016. So EasyJet does have two services. They have twice daily service up to London Gatwick, which is obviously their largest operations. So this aircraft's operating that morning flight out there, leaving at 8:05 a.m. However, they also have a service to Milan, which is really helpful as well. So Milan, if you don't know, is in northern Italy, and it definitely serves quite an awesome market there. We still do not have a service to Rome, surprisingly, which is kind of interesting. And there's a couple of other cities like Warsaw and Madrid that we still lack as well. So it'll be fascinating to see if we are able to get those services in the near future. But this EasyJet aircraft is doing what it can in the meantime. So looking quite nice for that right there. TUI Airlines obviously operates as well, as I was mentioning earlier, in their Boeing 737-800 right here, which has a broken landing gear on the other side and a broken scimitar, but I have it on the side where you can't see any of that because I improvise, so that's quite nice. Anyway, this particular frame is currently getting loaded up in this aircraft and making the flight today, heading out to the city that I forgot already. What was city? Did they fly to Aberdeen? Is that their main hub? Or was it Manchester too? Yeah, Manchester was theirs. Okay, I was like, who had Manchester? I was just talking about that over there at the BA gate. So this aircraft's heading out to Manchester today, where they have twice daily service there, and eager to see if they'll expand, but this has been a really great service for them over the last 3 years, so they've definitely done pretty well here, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing expansion soon. So anyway, that aircraft's looking quite nice, and overall, it is quite an awesome aircraft right there, to say the least. Lastly, here at gate number 20, we have this beautiful Icelandair Boeing 757-200 in the Hekla Royal livery. Icelandair has twice daily service today out to Reykjavik, Keflavik, with third daily services coming soon. So this aircraft on the Boeing 757-200 is going to be departing out at 12:15 p.m. So looking quite nice for this aircraft with the glass jet bridge. Several gates are international capable. SkyTeam has 4 of them over there, starting at gate 9 where Egypt Air is and going to gate 12 where Air France is. We have one gate over here with gate number 20, and then one gate over there, gate number 5 for the international gates too. However, I'm sure they're going to work on the hybrid gates to make those international capable if that time becomes right. So overall, looking quite nice for these aircraft. Really great to see what they were up to. Let's go ahead and take a look at our taxiing aircraft. Air Force One was in town for our first airport update, which was quite fitting. So here's a McCauley C-17, which is coming as support personnel, and this aircraft is going to be heading back to the United States. This aircraft is going to start by heading over to Newark Airport. So that's where they're off to right now as we speak. We also have a beautiful United States Air Force One, and this aircraft is also heading out to the United States. However, it's heading to Andrews Air Force Base as he's heading back to the Washington, D.C. area. Here is a beautiful Gulfstream G5, and this aircraft is currently going to be making a service today, heading out to Cork, Ireland. So quite a unique one, but my maps here of the European cities does have some fairly small ones on it, so that'll be helpful for those aircraft and some new general aviation aircraft coming up soon. Holding short of runway 34, we have the Icelandair Boeing 737 MAX 8. This aircraft's operating flight number 3 of the day, heading out to Reykjavik, Keflavik to make it in time for the final bank of the day, and this aircraft is departing at 4:30 p.m. And our last aircraft for today's airport update is going to be this beautiful Transavia Airbus A321neo, exclusive to none other than Aviation Megastore. This is such an awesome model to get there, and just feeling very fortunate to have it. Excuse me. Anyway, this aircraft's landing on runway 34 after a flight. I'll do my best from pronunciation, but they actually went with a unique route. They're not going to fly to Amsterdam. However, they're going to be flying to, Eindhoven. Hopefully I said that kind of right, but I think it's Eindhoven, somewhere around there in the pronunciation realms. I got to get better with it. I think after I hear some more people pronounce it, I think I'll do better. But I just found one on the map here real quick that I thought would be cool, and they have a large operation at Eindhoven. So that is where he's coming in from. They operate once daily service, and this aircraft is arriving in at 2:30 p.m. So overall, man, so awesome to have the European model airport here on the channel at long last. I'm super excited about this, and as I said at the beginning of the video, I really can't thank all the European aviation YouTubers enough for what they do and the content they make, especially with the model airports, and the amount of detail is just incredible to me. Personally, I was inspired greatly. One of my main influences to just get on the roll here with aviation YouTube in general, model airports, was Jompy3922. If any of you remember him, he had a really awesome European airport display, along with doing some very cool airport situation type videos, which included, you know, disasters happening and all the aircraft scrambling to get out, or, you know, being grounded due to whatever reason. So he was awesome. And obviously I can never not mention Aviation 18. Obviously this airport is based in his area. So yeah, I'm super excited about all this, and I can't thank each and every one of you enough in the European aviation sector for what you do. And I'm excited to once again expand my footprint here in the landscape, not only just doing North American airports, but obviously now expanding to European airports. I would love to at some point do a smaller replica of a smaller European airport. However, my fleet needs to progress a little bit. I need to evaluate and see where I could go exactly with what I currently have. So in the future, I hope to do a realistic one, but obviously the fictional one for now makes the most sense, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Again, this airport will be a monthly series, so super excited about that. And I also want to mention that I do plan once again to get models for this airport as much as I can. However, it will be a little slow to start, but I hope to find some good deals at collectible shows, especially to add airlines that are not currently here, and then that will be supplemented by aircraft for airlines that I already have that are different. So I'm excited to continue to expand this. I definitely hope to expand the mat as well here in the future when the time is right. Obviously, as you can see here, there's still quite a ways to go with what we currently have. So we'll maximize this mat, and then we'll move into the next one. So again, I really hope all of you enjoyed this kickoff launch update for New Forest International. This will be a great airport to add to the rotation, the first one I've had in over 2 years. So very excited about that. I also hope to get some additional airports going in the future, but I also don't want to overwhelm myself as well. So I think that this made the most sense right now in this moment to give as much variety as possible, especially to give back to all the European aviation viewers that I have. I know that there are several of you, especially from the United Kingdom. So I hope that all of you enjoyed this. And if you're finding my channel for the first time because of the European model airport, if you'd like to learn any about North American aviation, I have a wide plethora of videos on North American aviation. So definitely check that out. But anyway, I'm so excited about this project, and I hope all of you are as well. Again, this is going to be a blast to do, and I'm really excited for what's coming. I hope each and every one of you are as well. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.